WWE fans are furious, and Nick Khan had this to say about it. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday night. Let's get right into it. Nick Khan had some choice words for their fans over at WWE after 24 wrestlers, I may be off, there might be even more than 24, have been released. And Nick Khan had the audacity to say this. He defended the WWE product from online criticism during a town hall meeting today. He characterized the criticism as coming from a vocal minority, citing how night one of WrestleMania 42 was less well received in comparison to night two of the show. He went on to read multiple messages or tweets from 2015 criticizing the product and appeared to use those examples to argue such criticism has historically proven to be unreliable. He's basically telling you fans that your opinion doesn't matter, that our criticism on the product for the last 2 years now in WWE doesn't really matter because they're going to continue to make money. There's two sides to this. One, that's a slap in the face to WWE fans, and if you're watching this, I hope you realize that. And two, he's also partially right because they keep going back for more. I am pro AEW. I stopped watching Raw, SmackDown, and NXT live. I don't watch it live anymore. I watch recaps. If you truly want WWE to change, stop watching their shitty product. It's as simple as that. Nick Khan is so out of touch here by saying this, though. He's basically deflecting, in a sense. He's not taking ownership in the fact that they had an awful WrestleMania build. They were not going with what the fans wanted. We saw Raw last night, and the only thing to take away from it, the fact that we want Kyrie chants were going on during Raw, I think on multiple occasions. And Sada Nobafemi. That's all I really cared about with Raw when I watched the highlights, and that's all you should care about too. That's all you should give towards WWE these days is watch their stuff on socials, and that's about it. Stop paying for their product. Stop going to their shows live. Stop paying for PLEs. Get rid of ESPN Plus. Stop watching them on Netflix. If you really want them to change, they're not willing to change because they say that your opinion is a minority and it doesn't matter. Well, Nick Khan, you're stupid for saying that because it's just going to piss off more fans. And it comes in an untimely occasion. Literally after you release so many wrestlers, a lot of which WWE fans did not want to see going, and they were voicing their opinion on Raw last night with We Want Kyrie. But apparently to Nick Khan and Triple H, that doesn't matter. I mean, you really can't make this shit up. This is why AEW is so much better than WWE. Triple H got a new contract, so he's not going anywhere. And that same town hall meeting, Nick Khan came out and said that they are, in fact, using AI to write their storylines. They can't write storylines on their own. They need help from AI. They fired Road Dogg, and their creative is still ass. Everything is falling apart in WWE, yet they're going to be okay because so many fans are used to mediocrity. So many fans are still going to keep feeding them money when they should just simply stop. I mean, when you have Triple H, the guy who's in charge of their week-to-week shows on Raw and SmackDown, can't even tag the right EOS guy and Jacob Fatu accounts on socials, you've got a problem. When they can't come up with their own stuff, instead they rely on AI, you've got a problem. When they have to release 24 wrestlers a year, you've got a problem. But money solves everything for them, and they charge people up the ass, and they still go to their shows. And it doesn't matter what you say online. If you don't do stuff like I've done, where you just stop watching the product, you stop paying for the product, it's not going to change. So the SGS Society, all of you subscribe to me. If any of you still watch it live and you agree with what I have to say about them being out of touch, about them just putting on awful shows lately, awful PLEs, their writing is terrible, all this negativity that I've had towards them for months now, but you still watch the product, Stop watching the product because you are giving them the money to not care about what us as fans have to say about WWE. Now to move on to AEW for the remainder of the video, the better stuff, because Tony Khan is not like Nick Khan. If stuff gets voiced by the fans in AEW, they more often than not make right by that. He isn't out for money. Instead, he's funneling a ton of money into AEW because he is a pro wrestling fan and he is a much better owner than Triple H, than Nick Khan, than Ari over at TKO. Look at the show that we have lined up for Dynamite tomorrow night, and you tell me what's the better wrestling product. For a fraction of the price, you can go and see MJF versus Kevin Knight for the TNT belt, Darby Allin versus Brody King for the AEW Championship, and the Women's Tag Team Championship between Divine Dominion and Sheeta and Statlander is going to be on the line. And Roosh is going to be in action. I'm sure we'll see more than that. That is a pro wrestling show. And AEW doesn't need AI to write for them when it comes to stuff like that. I've got MJF losing to Kevin Knight, although I would love to see if he won and then used the TNT belt to get under Darby's skin. And how crazy would it be if he wins the title back at Double or Nothing and then MJF is your first ever AEW and TNT champion at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. I have Darby beating Brody, but I think it's going to be a really, really tough fought match, just like his match against Ciampa. Roosh is in action, not quite sure who he's going to face, but he'll probably win. He's getting pushed heavily lately. And I have Divine Dominion winning the women's tag titles. I only see them losing to the Brawling Birds once Jamie Hayter is fully healthy. She's week to week, nothing serious, but she will be back probably after Double or Nothing. So they might have to figure out who to have Divine Dominion face at Double or Nothing, or just leave the tag titles off of the card. Some other pro wrestling news, it's all but certain that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be heading to AEW. It just makes sense. Even TNA has announced that they expect them to debut on AEW. And I mean, why would they go back to TNA, as TNA's ratings last week was only 175,000. Good for the number 2 wrestling company. I love how that's put there. They're not even the number 3 or the number 4. Maybe the number 5, but that's a stretch even. TNA is not competition to AEW. AEW is the 1B show in America, and it's going to remain that way. They'll likely never catch WWE when it comes to total viewership, when it comes to how much money they make, unless, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you actually stop watching WWE. If you do have a problem with their overall product, just stop watching it like I have. Many of you watching this right now have. And honestly, you'll probably be happier. You'll have room for better professional wrestling like AEW, like New Japan, Stardom, all these other smaller promotions, MLP, which is a big promotion coming up. I've stated that MLP is going to be bigger than TNA by the end of 2026. We'll see if that happens. And now I have one DDT segment for you guys in this video. And that's actually going to go to Jey Uso, stating that that nobody can touch him and that he's the hottest wrestler in the game right now. Jey Uso, you're not even on the level of pretty much everybody in AEW. You can't wrestle really anymore. You can't hit a super kick to save your life. Your world title run was bland and forgettable. Yeet entrance, thank God that's pretty much over with. But there's many reasons why he is not the hottest wrestler in the game right now. You could pluck anyone from AEW's roster, and they're likely a better professional wrestler than Jey Uso is. For all those reasons, you are this video's DDT. And now, to close out this video, I want to touch on the hacker that's been hacking my channel. I call him Hacker because he's got a sign that pops up at the end of everything that he hacks. It says, "Halt all known rebels." I guess I'm a rebel going against E-stands and saying that AEW is here to stay, that they're not going anywhere, that they are, in my opinion, the best pro wrestling company in America, the best pro wrestling company in the world right now. So this hacker person, I'm not taking it serious at all. I think it's just some buffoon that is hacking my channel that is a big major E-stan. Says that they're going to mail me something. I didn't see anything in the mailbox. Although I could check my email after I edit and upload this video. So I'll get back to you guys on my next video to see if anything actually comes of this hacker. But we'll see what happens. That's all I had on this video on Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on Nick Khan's comments. Do you agree with me that I think it's a slap in the face to say that we are the minority for just voicing our opinion? That he's just dodging all blame for how shitty their product has been for the last 2 years now. Let me know what your thoughts are for Dynamite tomorrow, what your predictions are in the comments, and anything else that you may want to talk about in this video. It's a little bit shorter because I've had a very busy start of the work week, so I hope you understand. I promise my next video will be longer, and it will be pretty much all AEW stuff as I'll be recapping Dynamite. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.